All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna see if it's local search and it's city search. Gonna see if either of them or both of them have BSS. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we take declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, which means full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned video, home video, whatever, main video, wherever you're at. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. We got our full, intent spectrum here. High intent peeps over on the left, lowest intent peeps over on the right. For boudoir photography business is rising, most likely we're pulling in people from the entire intent spectrum. And if our boudoir photography business is falling, we're missing chunks of people across somewhere on the intent spectrum. So here we're talking about BSS, the highest intent peeps. These people search for boudoir photo shoots right now on all the different four big social media sites. So social search and Google search. And over way on the right, that is our other brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. We talk about BLCS. We currently only work with the boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. And so Facebook ads has the lowest intent peeps, interruption ads, Facebook, Instagram, which is going to be actually the largest volume of people that exist in a city. All right, so BSS, boudoir search sameness. So when a boudoir photographer say there's 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. So 0 slots on page 1 on Google, so we're on page 2 or deeper. We're effectively invisible because we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So approximately 80% of the market, so the bulk of the market ain't never going to see if we're on page 2 or deeper. And we actually want to, even if we got 1 slot, it's still not good enough. That's still boudoir search sameness because we look the same as everyone else. Everyone else gonna have 1 slot as well. So what's a buyer gonna do? They're just gonna, right click, open everyone's website, open a new tab, everyone down page 1. Probably won't even go to page 2, which is approximately 80% of searchers never do. So we're gonna assume that they don't even go to page 2. They're just gonna contact every boudoir photographer on page 1 near them and get price quotes and call it a day, and then kind of pick the best out of all those. So as a result, boudoir search sameness, no bueno. And 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google is actually not normal. That's extremely common. It's not normal to have that few number of slots page 1 on Google. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. First one everyone knows about, nearly everyone knows about, market saturation. Second one, nearly nobody knows about, which is the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, that's someone gets a new iPhone and they throw up their Google My Business profile and their website saying they're now for boudoir, or they're now a boudoir photographer. And get new gear like a camera, then they're posting the mom Facebook groups saying they're now for boudoir photo shoots. So market saturation, more boudoir photographers for the same number of buyers, increases in the supply side, makes it harder for each seller to, make a sale. Now, the false belief of page 1 equality. Okay, this is, from what I've seen, is the #1 killer boudoir photography businesses, where originally people accepted page 1 equality as normal. Like, it's normal for every boudoir photographer to have either 0 or 1 slots on page 1. And yeah, I was ranked, my website was ranked on page 1, but, someone else came in, their website got ranked above mine. I got pushed off to page 2, but, that's simply how it is. I simply got to accept it. There's nothing I can do. It's just part of the game. When actually this is 100% false. This is a 100% false belief, because what I have learned is Google will actually give as many slots on page 1 to those who want to put in the effort to acquire those slots. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 Google search in only 10 days. So I know this is true. I've done it. And so this false belief of page 1 equality, it's like a mental cage. People don't even look for a solution. They don't even try to figure something out because they don't even know it's possible. But in 2 pictures here, we'll see that it actually is possible, or 4 or 5 pictures here. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, DBP. And that's because, if we we got 0 slots on page 1, we're on page 2. Approximately 80% of searches never even going to find us. So yes, we're disappearing. Even if we got 1 slot on page 1, not good enough. We look the same as everyone else. Going to be price shop compared to everyone else. And a buyer just going to click and open everyone's website on page 1 and price shop everyone. So we got to get more slots on page 1 to kick out. And also, so we got more slots on page 1. We're also kicking out our competitors. So actually, we get price shopped against fewer peeps. And disappearing boudoir photographer, it's like the canary in a coal mine. If we got BSS or disappearing boudoir photographer, we are, pretty. That means the business is on the path to disappearing as well. So luckily, we now have a solution. BSS is treated with social search saturation, our SQ'd methodology, and it works exactly like it says. We saturate social search with the highest intent keywords, kind of like, the small rivers flowing down the backside of the Andes Mountains. And once we do that, saturate, that flows into the Amazon River, which is Google page 1 search. That's the end result of doing SQ'd methodology correctly. And again, yes, I have done this for myself. Now, the magical thing about SQ'd methodology is it's the only thing I've seen for boudoir photographers that is able to successfully get rid of, fight against and actually overcome market saturation. So why is that? Let's say we're in DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Or let's say we're in DC. And there's 1 million boudoir photographers in DC. They all got a website saying they do boudoir photography. Same as us, we're one of them. Everyone's fighting to be ranked page 1 on Google. But let's say we crank up SQ'd methodology to the max. So we crank up SQ'd methodology to the max, and we take the first 300 slots across all, on social search. It's all us. And as a result, or the first 300 searches on Google for also the highest intent buyer keywords, those who want boudoir photo shoot in their city. And as a result, literally the first 30 pages, organic search results on Google, is us. Because it's 10, it's literally 10 organic slots per page. So we take the first 30 pages up with our 300 slots that we've captured. And our competitors, nobody can find them on organic results until the organic search results till page 31. So when buyers search anywhere, social or Google, we're basically the only one that they find. I mean, they probably ain't going to page 31 on Google. So as a result, whose business is growing? Ours. Even though there's 999,999 other boudoir photographers in our city. And why is that? Because buyers can't, it's hard for them to even find anyone else because we saturated search everywhere so strongly across social and Google. So again, this is the only solution I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to successfully outcompete market saturation. Something that has momentum. Sure, ads, they give me one more slot on Google for PPC, but their momentum goes down to 0 once you stop spending for them. SQ'd methodology, it maintains momentum. It has momentum, not infinite momentum, but it has way more momentum than an ad that instantly drops to 0 momentum once you stop spending for it. Now, once treated with SQ'd methodology, we have page 1 visibility. A bonus side effect of this is for every new slot we occupy on page 1, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible. Remember, approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. They're page 1 only searches. Yeah, we're making them invisible to approximately 4/5 of the marketplace. And obviously, that means we're going to be price shopped against fewer boudoir photographers. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. We have the GBC recommended minimum. We want to hit 3 out of 10 slots on page 1. I feel like that's kind of the first maximum point that we reach, where if every other boudoir photographer has 1 and we got 3, and subconsciously buyers gonna be thinking, man, why is Google pushing this person 3 times? Everyone else only 1. I'm gonna, I'll click all 3 on this one person. And in the very rare chance someone else has 2, well, we'll be we'll be, out competing them as well because we got 3. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality, which everyone used to accept as normal, but more and more people are not accepting as normal anymore. We now have the solution, luckily, finally, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, next up, my results using S-cubed methodology for myself. So I wanted to rank for the keyword BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate page 1 on Google. So let's go down to the organic slots. So organic slot page 1, or organic slot 1, IG, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I did this in 10 days. I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 on Google. And I exclusively used S-cubed methodology to achieve this. So these are the results I've gotten. Now, main event here. Going to be checking out this boudoir photography business. We're going to see local search Greentown, Indiana, and city search Kokomo, Indiana. See if we got BSS for any of these. So let's go Greentown, Indiana. All right, Greentown, Indiana. So we got cooking here. So, oh, we got an AI overview. All right, yeah, we'll count that one. This is actually what we want. Let's see. Yeah, this is what we want to get. Nice. So yeah, we'll count that as 1. We got 2. We got 3. We got 4. All right, we got 4 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google. We do not have BSS, and we've met the GBC recommend minimum for 3 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google. That's the first boudoir photographer I've seen actually successfully acquire the AI overview for one that I've actually searched. So that's local, Greentown, Indiana. Or look at city, Kokomo, Indiana. Maybe it's the closest city. Who knows? Somewhere around there. And let's see. All right. All right, we are at 0 out of 10 for city, Kokomo, Indiana. So our 4 out of 10 local, 0 out of 10 city. So we got BSS for the city, and we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search for our city. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, you've done the local search for yourself, and you saw that you do have BSS, or you've not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, and or you also did that same search, city search, for yourself, and you may have had BSS for your city, or you may have not have hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots for your city page 1 on Google. So you see you got BSS as it stands right now. You also understand the market saturation, a new phone, new camera, 2 prongs, but you understand this 3rd prong, which is AI is going to be taking more and more people's jobs. So not only do you want to fortify, to basically compete with the current boudoir photographers using S-cubed methodology as your preferred solution, to kind of get more slots on page 1, kick more people off page 1 currently. But you see, way more boudoir photographers going to be entering the market because of AI, because of people losing their jobs. And everyone's got a smartphone with a great camera. So you recognize you need to actually additionally fortify your position from the future boudoir photographers that it's going to be more and more over time as more and more people lose their jobs, because again, everyone's got a great camera on their smartphone. Easy to throw Google My Business Profile on a website saying they offer boudoir shoots now. And you want to make sure those people, those new peeps, never even get on page 1 of Google to prevent people from finding them and price shopping you against them. And you understand that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. You do not have to accept either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. Google will actually give us as many slots on page 1 as we want to put in the effort to acquire. So as a result of that, you're seeing S-cubed methodology. Like, heck yeah, dude, I don't have a decade to build a brand. I need results much faster, which S-cubed methodology can provide results way faster in building a brand. It also it helps accelerate having a brand as well. That's kind of one of the back end bonuses of that. And you want to achieve page one visibility. You want to become a visible boudoir photographer, and you want to achieve boudoir search visibility. And you want all that because you know you need it on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. You also want the two unspoken back-end benefits, where the more we execute S-cubed methodology, we're kind of like building up these thematic keyword columns around our social media usernames, our website, our brand, our name. And as we build those thematic keyword columns up, it's invisible, but it increases the probability AI brains recommend us here for Google AI overviews. You know, premium placement right at the top, way above everyone. Every day we execute S-cubed methodology correctly, we increase the probability going to be shown in the AI overview. And also, we're increasing the probability the other AI search options are recommending us in their search. So that's ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Building up these thematic keyword columns, kind of like spokes on a wheel or spokes on a hub. Our hub is our business name, all our social accounts. We're building up this invisible kind of AI brain mindshare, invisible momentum that only AI can see and pull from to be recommended. And the last time I did, I searched for boudoir photographers in a city. The city had like 60 when I went and looked manually, but ChatGPT search only recommended 3. So we're going to increase the probability we get that by successfully utilizing S-cubed methodology. And the final thing on the back end is you want to be a first mover on this because you see, my current plan is to only work with 1 boudoir photographer per city. And so you're saying, man, you can get the current benefits, more slots on page 1, and kick off current boudoir photographers from page 1, make them visible page 2 and deeper, and fortify yourself against future boudoir photographers coming into the market from losing their jobs via AI, and the back-end mindshare of AI overview for Google and AI default search by being early adopter, working with me first in your city, and crowd out all your other competitors from working with me. Because again, my current plan is to only work with 1 boudoir photographer per city. And you also see, if your competitor instead jumps in with me first, then you'll actually have to re-engineer S-cubed methodology somehow, recreate it, rederive it somehow, do all that testing, and you'll never be 100% confident you've rederived it correctly. So you'd have to take all the time to rederive it or derive it for yourself the first time, and then go execute and implement it, while me and your competitor have already made a massive gap ahead of you. And if you executed the same S-cubed methodology as us every day, you would simply maintain the gap. You would have to literally outwork us 2 or 3x every single day to make up the space, make up that gap, and actually make progress, pull the thematic keyword column momentum from your competitor's brand over to your brand. And, dude, who's got that much time in the day? Who has that much time? So you realize, screw that. You'd rather simply be first one early mover of your city to kick out all your competitors from using this against you. And obviously I'll, get all these benefits we talked about already. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM when my DM's open. My DMs are currently closed. New patient intake at the hospital is currently closed. So watch these videos. Wait for when I do open up the hospital, open up the new patient intake, and then shoot me a DM, and we'll see if you qualify to use S-cubed methodology.